Hello Group 1, welcome to your reading. First, let's see where you are destined to shine in life. We have Knight of Wands and the Seven of Cups. We also have Three of Wands as the underlying energy. Okay, this is pretty cool. The first thing I heard was, you are here to become other people's eyes. I honestly feel like a lot of travel creators would choose this pile. And even if you are not a travel blogger, I still feel that traveling or exploring different places will play a big role in your life. Or maybe your work naturally requires you to travel a lot. You are definitely someone who likes to experience things for yourself. You are not satisfied with hearing other people's opinions about this world. You want to go there, see it with your own eyes, experience it yourself, and then share your own thoughts and perspective. You are here to show people another side of the world. If I use a travel creator as an example, you're probably not a type who just post beautiful photos, nice cafes, or luxury hotels. Your content has depth. Maybe you like visiting places with rich history. Maybe you are interested in different landscapes and cultures. And maybe you are into learning different languages. But instead of learning from a textbook, you travel to different countries and experience the culture yourself, so you can learn it in a more practical way. Or maybe you enjoy working holidays and experiencing different ways of living. Whatever you do, I see three strong themes here: experience, travel, and sharing. There's also a very future-focused energy. Some of you are naturally interested in history or different cultures. It's almost like the more you understand the past, the better you can see where the future is going. Sometimes you may even feel like the past, present, and the future all exist at the same time. It's a very interesting energy. I also don't think this only applies to content creators. I feel like everyone in this pile has some kind of platform or medium where you share your experiences with other people. And the more unique your experiences become, the more people will want to follow your journey. Sometimes it's because you are doing things that most people can't do. Maybe they don't have the opportunity, or maybe they don't have the courage, or maybe life simply doesn't allow them. So they experience those places through you. In a way, you get to live the life that many people secretly wonder about. For a small number of you, this doesn't have to be the real world. Maybe you're creating fictional worlds through writing, games, or art. People love your imagination. They also appreciate your taste and the way you see things. Another interesting message is that people tend to project onto you. It's not because you're pretending to be someone with certain styles. It's because people see parts of themselves in you. They imagine that if they had made different choices in life, maybe they would have become someone like you. Without realizing it, you receive a lot of admiration and blessings from other people. Next, let's see what makes you stand out in this area. We have King of Cups and the Nine of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we have King of Swords. Okay, pile 1. You have a lot of personal charm. You have a rich emotional world, but you also have a very clear and logical mind. When I say you have a rich emotional world, I don't mean you are overly romantic. I actually mean you are really good at enjoying your own company. You have a wonderful imagination, but you never lose touch with reality. Instead, you turn your thoughts and feelings into something real that other people can see and experience. Another thing I notice is that people keep changing their opinion about you. When they first meet you, they think you are soft, gentle, and maybe even a little emotional. But after getting to know you, they realize you're actually very emotionally stable. You don't get overwhelmed by your emotions. You don't constantly drain yourself with overthinking. You know how to feel deeply while still staying grounded. You have healthy emotional boundaries. That doesn't make you cold. It just means you don't like people who use their emotions as an excuse to drain everyone else's energy. You are sensitive, but you're also very wise. Because you are happy on your own, nobody can control you through loneliness. You are never afraid of being by yourself. And if people think you are just a quiet observer, they are in for another surprise. You are not only a great observer, you're also an excellent communicator. Your words have power, have emotion. Sometimes you can be quite sharp. Instead of saying, you are wrong, your energy is more like, I'm not naive. I simply choose not to argue. The more people know you, the more they see your depth. One thing I really like here is how carefully you use your energy. You don't waste it trying to please everyone. You're very selective about who you spend time with. But when someone earns your trust, you are incredibly warm and accepting. Going back to the travel creator example, I feel like you'd pay attention to every little detail, the camera angle, the music, the voiceover, the storytelling. Everything looks natural in the final video, but every frame is carefully thought through. I also feel like you enjoy meaningful conversations with interesting people. Maybe you meet someone while traveling. You have an amazing conversation. Then both of you continue your own journeys. You may never meet again, but you'll always remember that encounter. You care much more about someone's mind than their appearance. I feel that your thoughts are attractive. Even the way you choose your words or pause while speaking leaves an impression. One more thing, I really feel like you have a lucky energy around you. Somehow, life keeps guiding you toward the path that's right for you. And finally, let's see what happens when you step onto your destined path. You have the Lovers, the Four of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Moon. This is really beautiful. I feel like many of you are naturally independent. You enjoy doing things on your own. You spend a lot of time exploring life by yourself. But at the right time, you are going to meet someone who's truly meant for you. Some of you may have already met this person. What's interesting is that it happens after you've spent enough time getting to know yourself. Your mind is clear, your heart is peaceful. And that's exactly when the right relationship comes in. Earlier I mentioned that you have a lucky energy. You don't have to force everything. Somehow, you naturally end up choosing what's right for you, including your future partner. Another thing I see is that before meeting this person, you're always on the move. Different cities, different countries, always exploring. But after meeting them, you actually want to settle down. You build a home, not just a house, a place where your soul feels safe. Some of you might be thinking, that's not me at all. Maybe you're still exploring life. Maybe you have no idea where you want to live, and that's completely okay. The card simply suggests that one day you'll naturally reach that stage. You'll enjoy a peaceful, stable life much more than you expect. And honestly, it may surprise you. When you were younger, you probably imagined yourself always living freely, always moving forward. But life has a funny way of changing us. You'll discover that slowing down doesn't mean losing your freedom. It simply becomes a different kind of happiness. I also noticed that your way of expressing yourself changes over time. Earlier in life, you mainly share what you discover in the outside world. Later, your work becomes much more personal. People get to know your inner world instead. As for love, I don't even need to explain much. The Lover's card speaks for itself. For some of you, I see 2 children, and for others, maybe 2 pets. Either way, I see a happy family energy. Of course, every close relationship brings lessons. That's where the Moon comes in. When 2 people become truly close, hidden fears, old wounds, and insecurities naturally come to the surface. But that's not a bad thing. It's actually part of the healing process. For another group of you, I see you walking away from an old relationship. You're letting go of the fantasy that someone else can complete you. Instead, you're learning to become emotionally stable on your own. And from that place, you're able to welcome a much healthier relationship. The oracle card for you is Ascended Masters. Yes, this whole reading has a very strong energy of spiritual growth. I actually feel like your first half of life and your second half of life will be completely different. When you are younger, there's a lot of movement, traveling, exploring, trying new things. Your energy is very outward. You may not be famous during that stage, but you are quietly building a life full of amazing experiences. Then one day, everything changes. You settle down, your energy becomes much more focused. It's almost like all the experiences you've collected finally come together. Your partner also becomes someone who supports and strengthens you. From that point on, your influence grows naturally. You don't have to try so hard anymore. I also feel like your soul starts a brand new chapter around this time. One last thing, this reading keeps repeating the same message. You have a naturally lucky path. So don't be afraid to follow your own heart. You don't need everyone's approval, and you don't need to explain yourself. Just to keep walking your own path. It's taking you exactly where you are meant to be. Thank you so much for watching Pile 1. I hope this reading resonates with you, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello Group 2, welcome to your reading. First, let's see where you are destined to shine in life. We have 10 of Swords and a Magician. At the bottom of the deck, we have Knight of Pentacles. Okay, Pile 2. This reading feels intense. It almost reminds me of those comeback stories in movies. but not a kind where someone come back for revenge. It's more like someone quietly rebuilds their life, then simply walks away or come back with warmth instead of anger. I feel like many of you have been through something incredibly painful. It could have happened in your family, your career, or relationships, or even your health. For some of you, I'm seeing a serious illness for a long period of treatment. Whether the wounds were physical or emotional, I feel like you would experience a time when you were very close to giving up. Maybe some of you are still in that chapter. The reason this feels like a comeback story is because the pain here is so real. It's the kind of pain where it feels like there's no light left. Living itself feels exhausting. You might have thought, maybe I should just give up. I really can't do this anymore. I'm so tired. Everyone's story is different, so I can't say exactly what happened. But the feeling of hopelessness is very similar across this pile. That's what connects you all. The good news is, the Ten of Swords isn't about endless suffering. It's the end of suffering. It's the moment when you've reached rock bottom. And strangely enough, that's exactly where everything starts to change. Because when you stop fighting, when you stop trying to control everything, when you completely surrender, you begin flowing with life instead of against it. That's when your inner magician wakes up. It's almost like your life gets reset. Before this, it feels like nothing works. Everything went wrong. But after this turning point, things slowly begin falling into place. We are always manifesting, whether we realize it or not. Before, your energy was unconsciously creating more fear because fear was where your attention stayed. It was almost like whatever you worried about kept happening. But after experiencing such a huge setback, you finally let go of the need to force life. When you're too exhausted to keep controlling everything, when you have no energy left to overthink, your mind becomes quiet. And in that quiet space, your true creative power finally has room to appear. That's your inner magician. So if you're currently going through this Ten of Swords period, or you've only just come out of it, please don't think, this is how my life will always be. This dramatic contrast is actually part of your journey. Yes, your gifts may seem to appear overnight, but healing still takes time. Think of it like recovering from an illness. The breakthrough can happen quickly, but becoming truly healthy again is a gradual process. And health here isn't just physical, it also includes your emotions, your mindset, your relationships, your finances, and your spirit. So overall, I feel you are destined to shine in the area of manifestation and personal transformation. Your own life becomes proof that it's possible to rebuild after losing everything. And because of that, you'll naturally inspire other people who have walked a similar path. Next, let's see what makes you exceptional in this area. You have the Strength card in reverse and Nine of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we have the World. I love this energy. Your comeback isn't loud. It isn't dramatic. It's actually very quiet. Before, you may have imagined that once you became successful, you'd finally prove everyone wrong. Maybe you'd show the people who hurt you what they lost. Maybe you want them to regret the way they treated you. You might have imagined a very dramatic ending. But that's not what I see. When you truly heal, you simply feel it's okay. Let it go. Interestingly, it's the same feeling you had when you reached your lowest point. Not because you forced yourself to forgive, not because someone told you to, but because you've naturally outgrown the pain. These cards show me something beautiful. Sometimes, when you feel the weakest, you're actually the strongest. The Knight of Pentacles also reflects the Knight of Pentacles from earlier. Everything happens one step at a time. No rushing, no forcing. Manifestation isn't about anxiety. It's about trust. It's trusting that every small step is leading you exactly where you are meant to be. I also feel like you'll create a completely different kind of manifestation space. Maybe some of you have seen manifestation courses or complicated rituals online. Honestly, many of them feel overwhelming. They make manifestation seem difficult. But your energy is the complete opposite. You teach people that manifestation can be simple, natural, and peaceful. The strongest manifestation doesn't happen when you're trying the hardest. It happens when you are the most relaxed. And being relaxed doesn't always mean feeling happy. Sometimes it simply means you've stopped cleaning. People who have experienced a deep despair often understand this better than anyone. When you've completely let go, there's a strange sense of peace. I feel like you build a community around this energy. No complicated rituals, no pressure, no performing. People from all over the world will naturally be drawn to your space. You wanted to convince anyone to stay. People simply enjoy being around your calm, grounded energy. It's peaceful, it's authentic, it feels safe. That's why you shine in manifestation. You show people a fresher, gentler way. Even after everything you've been through, even after creating an incredible new life, you remain humble. You are not trying to prove anything. You are not showing off. You are still the same person. But somehow, you've completely transformed. And that's incredibly inspiring. And finally, let's see what happens when you step onto your destined path. We have the Sun, the Chariot. At the bottom of the deck, we have Ten of Pentacles. These cards are amazing. This is exactly why I said this pile feels like a comeback story. It's the energy of someone who was once underestimated, but ends up creating a life that everyone admires. The first message I want to share is for those of you who grow up in a difficult family or who have come from a very painful chapter in life. Please don't lose hope. The cards show a happy home, a loving family, maybe children, maybe pets, a peaceful and a comfortable life. So don't let your past convince you that you don't deserve happiness. Don't believe that suppressing your dreams is the safest way to protect yourself. Trust life, go with the flow. A calm, joyful life is actually your true path. If you would experience a time when life felt incredibly hard, when you were so exhausted so you don't even have the energy to cry, things begin changing the moment you stop forcing, stop complaining, and stop trying to control everything. That's when your real journey begins. I see a life that keeps getting better. A life with laughter and tears. A life that feels full. When you learn to accept yourself, you naturally become more accepting of the world. The feeling these cards give me is difficult to describe. Yes, there is success here, but it's not just a success in the worldly sense. More than anything, there's deep satisfaction. And interestingly, it's probably very different from what you once imagined success would look like. What makes me happiest isn't what you will own or how much you achieve. It's the way you will care for your life, the way you build it slowly, the way you appreciate ordinary moments. That quiet way of living is actually the most inspiring part. I feel like the rest of this journey is something you'll experience for yourself. And honestly, I can't wait for you to get there. For the oracle card we have here is the victim mentality. Its message is very simple. Separate yourself from the problem. Sometimes you create problems. Sometimes you solve them. Both are part of being human. The important thing is not to become the problem. Don't define yourself by what happened. Look at a situation objectively. Deal with it one step at a time. Problems can be solved. But if you believe you are the problem, then it becomes much harder to move forward. Another message is this. When something painful happens, don't immediately ask, "What's wrong with me?" Instead ask, "How can I protect myself better next time?" The difficult experience wasn't proof that you were flawed. It simply showed that something in your boundaries, your protections, or your circumstances needed attention or needed improvement. I know that when you are in the middle of pain, it's easy for your thoughts to become extreme. But honestly, looking at these cards, I'm not worried about you. You don't need to worry either. Just trust the process. When the time comes, everything will make sense. You'll figure it out, and you'll be okay. Okay, thank you so much, Pile 2. I wish you all the very best, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 3, welcome to your reading. First, let's see where you are destined to shine in life. We have Judgment and the Four of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we have Queen of Pentacles. Okay, this message is very clear. This pile is all about marriage and long-term partnership. The first two piles also have some relationship messages, but for this pile, it's definitely the main theme. Marriage isn't just something that happens in your life. It's one of your soul's biggest lessons. It's where your soul grows the most. If you're familiar with tarot, you probably know that Judgment can sometimes point to someone from the past returning. Yes, for some of you, I do see the possibility of an ex coming back. And if that happens, this relationship has the potential to become very stable and long-lasting. It will benefit both of you, but I actually feel you'll benefit even more. Now let me explain what I mean by that. I'm not saying you need this relationship because you are incomplete or lacking something. What I mean is that you truly understand how to build a healthy partnership. You are someone who naturally knows how to help both people grow together. You know how to make the relationship work in a way that brings out the best in each other. And when I say benefit, I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about emotional support, wisdom, influence, opportunities, and even the positive impact you can have on other people. So first, the two of you grow together, then the positive energy naturally spreads to the people around you. I know some people don't like hearing about reconciliation, but I do see the possibility here. If it isn't someone from the past, then this is someone you've shared a very deep soul connection with, possibly even from a past life. As you get to know each other, you probably discover something really interesting. Your lives have crossed many times before. You just never met at the right moment. Maybe your families knew each other. Maybe you worked for the same company. Maybe you traveled to the same place at the same time. Maybe you went to the same university, but one of you had just graduated while the other had just started. Some of you may even lived in the same building or rented the same house at different times. There are so many strange coincidences. Your paths keep crossing, but somehow you always missed each other. And during those years, both of you had other relationships. Only after you both became single again did your paths finally meet. Looking back, you begin to understand why everything happened the way it did, why you had to miss each other so many times before finally meeting. You may never fully understand why your souls choose this timing, but all those coincidences will make you feel like you owe this connection a chance. The 401 feels like a beautiful partnership. One person brings resources, the other brings vision. Together, you build something neither of you could have created alone. It's like two people searching for treasure together, supporting each other, encouraging each other, helping each other succeed. I also want to make something very clear. This reading isn't saying that you can only become successful through marriage. Not at all. You already have the ability to succeed on your own. Marriage simply becomes a platform that allows your gifts to grow even bigger. The strongest message I get from this pile is that you're naturally good at building things and nurturing things. Maybe that means building and nurturing a happy marriage. Maybe it means building a successful business with your partner's support. Either way, you are an excellent nurturer and a creator. And one last thing, the relationship that's truly meant for you will never hold you back. It will support you, it will nourish you, and it will help you thrive. Next, let's see, what makes you exceptional in this area? We have 8 of Cups and 6 of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we have 9 of Wands. Okay, I have to say, even though the previous cards showed a beautiful future relationship, your journey in love hasn't been easy. When you realize a relationship isn't healthy or isn't right for you, you are willing to walk away. Even more importantly, you never stop believing that real love exists. You are not someone who gives up on love after 1 or 2 disappointments. To be honest, you don't always feel confident, but you've never lost your sincere hope for love. For some of you, I actually see that you've walked away from someone who looked perfect on paper, the kind of partner everyone admired, the kind of relationship people told you was too good to leave. When you ended it, people probably thought you were making a mistake. For some of you, that person may have expected you to stay in the background and build your life around them, even though deep down you knew that wasn't the life you wanted. What makes me happy is that you stayed true to yourself. It wasn't easy. You had moments when your heart wanted to stay, you questioned yourself, you struggled in silence. But you didn't compromise. You didn't fight. You simply kept walking your own path. You stopped listening to other people's opinions. Instead, you focused on your own journey. Only after you achieved the life you truly wanted did you look back and realize, I made the right choice. That's when you learn to fully trust yourself. I also noticed so many images of roads and mountains in these cards. It perfectly matches your life journey. The relationships that didn't work were not failures. They helped you discover where you'd lost yourself. And by choosing to leave, you slowly rebuild yourself. You become stronger, more resilient. I honestly don't think you are as focused on worldly success as people assume. Deep down, what you really want is to become the best version of yourself. These cards show me something very heroic about your approach to love. Even after being hurt, you still choose to love, you still have passion, you still believe. So why are you able to build such a beautiful partnership in the future? Because you never run away from your lessons. You don't avoid difficult conversations. You don't avoid growth. When it's time to leave, you leave. When it's time to change, you change. When it's time to stay, you stay with your whole heart. That's a very mature, graceful, and inspiring energy. I truly admire it. Finally, let's see what happens when you step onto your destined path. You have Ten of Cups and Ace of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we have Ace of Pentacles. This makes me so happy for you. The first two piles also show the possibility of building a family, but honestly, I don't think family was their biggest dream. But for you, it is. I genuinely feel that creating a loving home is something your heart has always wanted. And that's why seeing these cards feels especially beautiful. This is the fulfillment of a heartfelt wish. Whether your future partner is someone new or someone from the past, your life is entering a completely new chapter. I also feel that it's not just a marriage that brings blessings. Building a family brings even more abundance into your life. I see a brand new beginning in both your emotional world and your material life. Everything feels fresh. Everything starts blooming again. People often say becoming a parent makes you stronger, but for this pile, I actually feel something slightly different. No matter your gender, it's everything you've survived that allows you to become such a gentle, loving family member. The stronger you become, the softer your heart becomes. Because real softness only comes from real strength. And somehow, your family becomes the place where you feel strongest. These three cards are overflowing with love. Love between partners, love within a family, and the love that naturally spreads beyond your own home into the wider world. And for some of you, I also see that once you build your family, everything changes. Your home, your environment, your friendships, even your lifestyle. It's like your whole life receives an upgrade. Life begins flowing much more smoothly. Things fall into place. Opportunities arrive naturally. It's a wonderful energy. The oracle card for you is intuition and manifestation. I actually feel that many of you haven't met this beautiful relationship yet. Right now, you're probably still in that Nine of Wands energy. You are holding on, you are staying strong. But every now and then, you wonder, should I just give up? Maybe I should lower my expectations. The answer from this card is a very clear no. This card is here to reassure you. The desire in your heart comes from your intuition, and the universe is already responding to it. So stop spending so much energy asking whether your dream is realistic. Stop questioning your past decisions, and don't waste your time trying to figure out who your future partner is. Instead, focus on the path that's right in front of you. Keep building your own life. Keep becoming the person you are meant to be. One more thing, you are not simply waiting anymore. You are preparing. In fact, I don't even think you are between two chapters anymore. Your new chapter has already begun. It doesn't begin the day you meet your partner. It begins the day you become this new version of yourself. So trust where you are going. Your future is already unfolding. Thank you so much, Pile 3. I wish you all the happiness in the world, and I'll see you in the next reading.